Welcome to Season 4 of UX Banter, your portal to insightful conversations with design illuminaries. We are back with even more engaging discussions with design leaders, delving into their experiences and inspirations. Get ready for fresh insights as we explore the latest trends and challenges in the industry. With me, your host, Dushyant Kanungo.
This podcast is presented by Galaxy UX Studio and powered by Galaxy Weblinks, an Inc. 5000 organization.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new episode of the UX Banter podcast. I'm really excited about our guest today, who is an accomplished user experience leader with over 11 years of expertise spanning UX strategy, research, front end development. She has been instrumental in shaping successful projects across diverse industries and countries and landscapes, while also mentoring aspiring designers on ADPList. A technology leader, she continues to drive impactful change in the digital spaces. Please welcome the CTO and co-founder of UXIT, Amina ElShazly.
Hi everyone, how are you?
All good, Amina. Welcome to the show. This is really exciting to have you on board as a design leader who has been working in Egypt, Dubai, Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's a really exciting market to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges.
So,
And thank you for being in this show.
great. So my question to you is that how the journey started, how you became the designer that you are or a design professional that you are, how it all started.
The first company that I was there, it has user-centered team. It was the first time that I heard about this. I was just graduate and I was interesting to a new challenges. So I accepted the offer in the user-centered design, and I started to learn about how to think of for the user, how to make the user at the center of your focus. But actually, my role in this company was front-end developer more than anything else. But I was responsible of creating the user flow, and I use the paper, not anything else. It was a paper to sketch the flow, how he will navigate through the app. So I learned a lot because the head of the team was making a PhD in this area.
Mhm.
So she has a great idea about all this new stuff. It was in 2008. So it was very new. Actually, in Egypt specifically, there was no other team in other company with this as this maybe IBM or something, but there was no other company known for this such a team.
Great. When we were talking about the Egypt, you did your graduation from Egypt, and was it in computer sciences? And
Yeah, it was computer sciences. So actually, I was Java developer before. Then yeah. I was thinking after college I will be Java developer, but everything changes. So I enter a diploma.
Mhm.
So this diploma, I switched from Java to C Sharp. Then after I graduated, I joined this team. So I focus in front end and user-centered design at this moment. After a while, I got married and I traveled to Saudi Arabia. So I was thinking how I can make it work because working as a woman in Saudi Arabia in IT sector was very challenging. So I started to make a freelance jobs at this moment. And after that, I got the starting of certification on online, and these things starting to happen at around 2017, 2015, I think something like that. So on 2017, I start my learning in Springfield. So I got certificate for user experience there, and I start working in Ministry of Finance in UAE. And I was the only team member as a UX there. And actually, all my work it was a single player. Always, I was a solo team to make the user experience and implementing it. I was both. Uh,
Interesting.
Yes, and after that, I think of creating or establish the UXIT so I can create my team with my partner. She was also one of the UX team in my first job. So we think of creating this company because of love of UX and do what we want to do in our all of our company in its best shape.
Great. So right now you are living in Dubai, getting projects from Saudi Arabia, and your company is Egypt based. Is that the right way of describing it?
Yeah, and in from Egypt also. My project is in Egypt, startups and enterprises, and also in Saudi Arabia.
So how rare it is that women in Middle East going into the prime of IT. I mean, you said that you started with Java, then there was C Sharp, which is .NET. So Microsoft Technologies walking in, front end development was somewhere integrated there, and then UX. So do you think that what would be the reason for you to switching the tech? Is it the conscious decision, or it was something that you were forced upon? What were the reasons that this switching happened?
The switching for the Java to C Sharp, it was actually because Java development in the diploma part was in other side of the country. So it was somehow difficult to go,
Mhm.
and my mother didn't like it. So that's why I exchanged it. But I know a lot of my friends who are working as a Java developer in Egypt. Actually, it is not that tough. Yeah, sometimes there is some companies that like to hire men over women, but it is not that challenging. But for sure, the salary for the men in the sector is higher than the women. This is one of the things.
So then again, I'm not, going to push on the topic more, but I really would like to understand that this is the same thing that happens in all the developing countries. It's not very Middle Eastern. So my sister, when she was in a college, they decided that they are going to teach. So there was the option that either you study Java or you study .NET. And the college decided that we are not going to give you options. We are going to teach you .NET. And I was like, no, you should be doing Java. But because of the reasons of the university and college, they decided to go again with what they wanted to teach rather than what you wanted to learn. But the same scenarios happens worldwide. I mean, specifically in the Asian subcontinent, where the women have to do whatever is the disposal rather than, willing to go and explore the opportunities that they want to work on. Especially while you were in UAE and then when you started to become an entrepreneur, what differences have you noticed that while you were working as an individual and now as a design leader?
As an individual, there is a lot of rule and regulation. You stuck to it. You are the only player. They not they if you're saying anything about you want to make this right because of one, two, three, and you give the reason and everything. But for now, we don't want this too much. We'll make it later, or it is not our priority. We are looking for something. But actually, specifically in UAE, they have some points for RTA to make. So every website must make the accessibility test as it is one of the requirements. So this one was helping me in my work actually. But always as an individual, I said before that I was the only team player, and it was very difficult to do all the role in one as a one team player. But when I open my company, I start to teach other people about what I love, and I start to focus more in the strategy, and the user experience is my focus, and the user itself the pain point. All of this because when you are the only single team player, it is difficult to get all around the areas. You might make this and this, but not in the perfect shape. But but in our company, we make it in the best shape because everyone has his part in the team. So it is more successful to make a successful product or web applications that the people want or love.
Nice. With that, I would like to take you to the rapid fire, and I'm going to ask you certain questions to know more about you as a person. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just get my diary, just a sec.
Okay.
All right. So I have my diary at hand, and I'm going to ask you certain questions, and you have to quickly respond.
Okay.
All right. So question number one, the food that you cook at the middle of the night.
Nothing. I don't eat.
But your favorite meal that you can prepare anytime.
Chips.
Your favorite holiday destination.
Italy. But I
Mhm.
have never gone there. I would like to go, but I never go.
All right. Ice cream or coffee?
Coffee.
Mhm. Window or aisle seat?
Window.
Sunrise or sunsets?
Sunset.
Your favorite book?
My favorite book. But it is in Arabic, so I don't know.
No, it's all right.
Okay. Which one? I have been a lot of times that I don't read a novel, and actually I was in love in novel, but I have a lot of things. Maybe it was Roba Grom Edman, 1/4 gram of addiction.
4 gram of addiction.
Yeah, 1/4 of gram of addiction.
Okay. Who is your hero?
Sayyidina Muhammad.
Sorry?
Sayyidina Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam.
Prophet Muhammad. Okay.
Yeah.
Your favorite desert?
My dessert, maybe ice cream, yeah. I don't like sweets or things like that. I actually like salads and these things, so there is no sweets at dessert a lot.
Okay. Your favorite YouTube channel?
My favorite YouTube channel. I don't know. I subscribe in a lot of channels, but I don't
Have a go-to
specific
channel.
one. Yeah, I hear from what I like, but I don't have a favorite one.
Mhm. Okay. And the last question, robots or dinosaurs?
None, because I think both will end the world.
All right. So coming back to the conversation, I mean, when as a design leader, do you think that you missed the hands-on practices or that you had or challenges that you now understand as a leader that the challenges that you face?
You mean if I have a challenge before that I haven't solved, or
New challenges that, that surprise you that as a leader now you have new challenges. Uh,
yes, new challenges. Okay. Uh, Actually, it always the type of people you are dealing with. They surprise me. We was making a field study in universities, and I was thinking my assumptions that it will be someone with a teaching, they are a student, college students, so they have the information that is required, and they are using Facebook and LinkedIn, TikTok, everything like this. But when we make the field study, we find that they couldn't put the password, which is exactly like the Facebook regulation. So it was very surprising that they was very ignorant. And it was very difficult that we now are making ideation to solve this problem, how to let them register easily, because we wasn't known that there is this big ignorance in the registration regarding the password, and they didn't read at all. Any message we display, they didn't read. They want to, they don't know what happened, and they are not reading. So these are challenges. It's very it was very weird for me, because I was expecting that they are in a college. So this was surprising for me, and
Those are
I'm
basic things.
working on this challenge now.
I think that is how Google has come up with the solution, and I think Slack does it too. That you just enter one field at a time. That you first enter the email address, and the next screen you get to enter the password. Uh,
Um, the problem is that the registration field that required from university was very long.
yeah,
So we
just
put 444, okay? But we now in a process that we are working with the university that they have to remove some part from the registration and make it as simple as possible so they can register easily.
So it always happens that whenever we are working as a different projects, different domains, different students, different say the people who are part of the user base, they change, and all the learnings that you have from your previous projects may not apply, and that's amazing insight, and it is actually a bit challenging. But over the period of time, we learn that how common UX patterns that can be applied, so they can actually universally can work together. And with those learnings, and this is like your standard user base that we are talking. Now, if I have to ask, what ways that you integrate the new technology in any practices that you do at UXit, from say AI to the blockchain boom that actually came, that something was to happen. How do you go about adopting those changes?
Actually, I will talking about the AI. Yes, we start to adopting the AI in our ideation, in the research result, and even in the process of writing more proficient, because maybe some of the people has lack in the writing. It helps them to write better, but for the research's result, we also use AI to spot the patterns. So we adapt the AI, but nothing about blockchain.
No, okay. And I think we got in touch because of ADPList primarily. You are a mentor there. So the question comes to me is that what sort of young people who get in touch with you specifically, do you get a lot of women design leads which are coming in from Middle East to seek advice, or is just common discussions that you are addressing there?
Actually, most of my mentees are from the novel one, the starting from the starting area. Most of them are seeking advice for the portfolio, and actually, as every portfolio, they are following the steps, the known steps for the portfolio, and they not mention what they are really strong at, or anything that makes the hiring manager more interesting. So I always advise them to make to put their interest point at the beginning, and to make a storytelling, a short one that will get the hiring manager more interesting and complete the profile.
I mean, that's a great advice. I mean, this is the common theme across mentoring. I mean, I've also completed close to 3,000 hours there. And these are the common questions that anybody would ask. You go to conferences, if you visit any university, the students would ask you the same thing, that what can I do? What are you going to do about this? And what makes you hire people? And you look at the portfolios and they look the same, isn't it?
Exactly the same, nothing different.
There is really anything that you can actually judge from the portfolio, that what the person is capable of. So that uniqueness is always missing, and I think it is really hard to find and filter out that what the person is going to turn out in the longer run.
Exactly, yeah.
So, final question. What would be your advice in general to a young you, as in when Amina was starting out the career? What advice would you give to your younger self that can be applicable today to everybody who wants to follow you?
Have to follow. the great mind in UX, because at my time this wasn't very accessible or accessible. So now I think it is easier with LinkedIn and all these things, a lot of channels that open. But actually, at the time I was there, this was very challenging. But for now, if but this will be for me, but it is I don't think it will apply for the people now. But you have to follow some great mind in UX industry to know what is new and what we are saying.
Core principles
It's on
and
the stage or yeah. So because a lot of people sometimes I'm working with, they are not following anyone, they are not reading a lot. And actually in UX you have to read a lot, read new articles, a lot of the new of anything news that coming as AI, what is new in user researches, all of these things you have to follow a lot of people and got inspired of a lot of things, and always look for inspiration.
so keep learning, keep growing. I think that is the mantra. Do not silo yourself. If you want to grow in this career, you have to be updated about all the aspects of where the industry is headed, what people are doing, and what are the theory core principles about design which have been set in stone, which haven't changed since early 70s. I think there are certain design rules which were set there, and all the things that Jakob Nelson or Don Norman have been talking about. They are all, standard set products, isn't it?
Actually, don't let the user think it is the most important thing in UX, and it is never change.
Good behavior. So, with that, I thank you so much, Amina, for being such generous and open guest to talk about a variety and range of topics. And I believe our listeners will get a lot out of this conversation. And I'd like to thank you very much for joining in the conversation today.
Thank you, Dushyant, and thank you for letting me join you in this podcast. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. And to all the listeners, that was it for today's episode. Stay tuned. We will come back with another episode soon. And do like, follow, subscribe. I think that is the new mantra that I have to follow now. And keep learning, keep growing. I think that was also the learning from this episode. So until the next time, see you and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.